Speak after. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I would like to say that we kind of understand why you're not here, Marco, because it would be really hard to come in front of a group of people like this that are as upset as we are about so many things. Who would want to show up just to get spanked? So I had something nice to say to you. I saw your speech to the Senate on C-SPAN, where you called the Senate to account for the miserable incident between Elizabeth Warren and Mitch McConnell. And I thought you were sincere. I really did. I didn't pay attention to I haven't had a TV for 8 years. I did not follow the presidential campaign, so I don't know what people think of you and they get so disgusted. Ugh, Marco. I listened to you on the Senate floor, and you spoke for 6 minutes. You spoke truth to power in the Senate about making the Senate work. If there isn't a place where debate can take place in the Senate, then debate takes place nowhere. And it made me feel like maybe there was hope, that there was a crack in that red wall, because we will get nothing done if we can't count on Republicans to do their job and not toe this party line. You are one of the young... The Democratic Party did a miserable job in this election. You have all the power, and we're asking you not to abuse it, but to make the most of it. And you are one of the young guns. You have a chance to shape what comes out of this chaos. It would be really good if you could be that person that you were on the Senate floor. The issue for me, I'm with the Reverend. The EPA is under attack right now, and the person that's heading it is bizarre and ridiculous. We know that. The thing is if we don't have a planet, all the other issues don't matter. And if we don't have a planet, we're all refugees. So that's my issue. They make you pick one. I mean, it's pretty hard. And here's the but. At the end of all of this, you sold your vote, which is repulsive. It's repulsive when you even said that you might, you were a little on the fence there. And you could have made the difference. You absolutely could have. And then you just sold it. The other thing about the signs out here, they say, what's in your wallet? That nice little survey you did to accommodate us, to mollify us because you wouldn't show up for a town hall. You go to take the survey, you can't finish it unless you donate. If that isn't the most cynical, I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta be done. I think I said everything. I did.
Sorry, everyone. We just want to make sure everybody that signed up has a chance to speak. So try to keep it under 2 minutes and look for me with the annoying 1 minute mark sign. Okay, thank you.
And Bruce Blank, come up because I skipped you. I'm sorry, I skipped him from the other group. You can stay on that side.
Okay, I know you got a lot of people want to speak, so I'm going to keep it very brief. I disagree somewhat that the Democratic Party did a miserable job. The problem is the party of Vladimir Putin did a much better job. So my question to Senator Rubio is, do you back an investigation into possible Russian influence on the administration in the last election? And since we have an Attorney General who is basically part of that campaign, do you believe he should recuse himself and have a special prosecutor look into this? Because this is very important. This is our country. There's no country if we're just a part of Russia.
And one more person on this, Paula, and then you'll be next. Paula, I'm sorry. I got the speakers out of order. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
These are all really hard acts to follow. Probably what I'm going to say is redundant. My name is Paula Higgins, and I'm a resident of Hillsborough County. I'm a proud Native American woman, mother of 2 beautiful daughters, and a grandmother of 4. One of my daughters lives across the state from me, but despite the distance, we're both facing the same issue, sea level rise. It was my daughter's dream to work hard, save money, and one day own a home on the beach. About 3 years ago, her dream finally came true. But Senator, she lived in her home for less than 1 full calendar year before a big storm came and swallowed 30 feet of land between her and her warm, dry house and the ocean. While she lost an incredible amount of property, some of her neighbors, poor folks, some of them elderly living in mobile homes, lost everything. At City Hall, after the tragedy, people were sobbing and panicking. People don't realize that 1 inch of rise can take out many feet of land. Since 2013, my daughter has lost a total of 50 unrecoverable feet from her property and suffered over $100,000 in damages. Her dream has become a nightmare. Meanwhile, here in Tampa, we have been named by climate scientists one of the top 10 most vulnerable cities in the world to the negative consequences of climate change. And we're already seeing the effects. Our bay has already risen 8 inches in the past 10 years, a rise far exceeding projections. In both 2015 and 2016, we experienced 100-year flooding events, meaning in less than 1 year, we experienced flooding so devastating that it should have only occurred once every 100 years. This is unprecedented, and it's only going to get worse. I just want to tell Senator Rubio that I fear for my grandchildren. Parents always wonder if their kids will be able to make a living when they grow up. But if they don't have clean air, clean water, and ground to live on, jobs will be the very least of their worries. I can't imagine the world that my grandchildren are going to grow up in. It's absolutely terrifying, and we need to take action now. Senator Rubio, I know that you don't believe in climate change, and you don't believe it's caused by human activity, but it is. There is a consensus among scientists, and the data doesn't lie. And you can look at it this way. It's good news that climate change that we're experiencing is caused by human activity, because that means that altering human activity can also prevent the horror that is to come. Senator, you aren't picking up your phone, but I need to ask you, what will you do for my daughter whose home is going underwater? You claim to care about the poor, but what are you doing for the poor people whose homes are already taken by rising seas? Your constituents want to know, when will you concede to science and admit that climate change is caused by human activity? If we don't have a planet, nothing else matters.
Let me ask something real quick before you speak. Is Pamela Gomez here and Donna Davis? Donna Davis, go. Okay. I'll have you speak after this group.
Hi, my name is Jack Tram from St. Petersburg. Dear Senator Rubio, I strongly request that you support a full congressional investigation into Mr. Trump's Russia connections. This goes much further than Michael Flynn going rogue. The resignations of his former top advisors Paul Manafort and Carter Page, as well as Trump's own call to a hostile foreign state to hack his opponent's email, show an unnerving closeness to Russia that must be investigated fully and in the public eye. The president's unwillingness to disclose his own business interests in Russia, as well as his chumminess and outright admiration for Putin, should scare every single American. I recommend that you remind the president that the ex-head of the KGB is not America's ally. Thank you for listening to your constituents, albeit at a great distance.
Hi, I'm Doug Bentley. I'm from Oldsmar. I was taught how to be courteous. I was taught how to be respectful. I was taught civics. I was taught government. I was taught all the wonderful things that could be taught in a public education. Respect was top on that. Senator Rubio, the only reason I'm facing this empty chair is because of the respect I was taught and I learned. Had it be for me, or up to me, my back would be at your front. I served both the Marine Corps and the Air Force. I was there every day. When I was done, I quit and I went home. You're still there. My biggest concern that I have for you and the rest of the GOP is jobs. You always speak of jobs. I came here almost 5 years ago. During that time, I joined a large healthcare organization, and when I hired on, we had approximately 20,000 employees. During these 4 years that I've been here, almost 5 years, we've increased it 20%. So when you and your fellow GOP members repeal and don't replace ACA, what's going to happen to those jobs? You're going to turn sick people into really sick people and poor people, poorer people. And you're going to turn people like me who make a decent wage into the same thing. Like the people before me said about weather change and climate change, there's nothing going to be left for you. It's time to represent us.
Hi, Senator. My name is Jared Smith, and judging by your appearance and the reactions of the electorate, it seems you've lost some weight. I'm here because as a 10-year member of the service industry, I have a class issue. I'm here because as someone who has advocated their entire life for affordable elder care, I have a class issue. I'm here because as a newly minted public educator, I have a class issue. And this issue begs one question. And that question is that when you were taking over 10% of Betsy DeVos' donations to the Republican Party during her nomination bid for Secretary of Education, as a father, did knowing that your kids will never step foot in a public school and that $100,000 is going to go straight to their private school tuition make it easier for you to be the deciding vote in forking over the future of our education system? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelangelo Salcido. I'm from Port Richey, Florida. And number one, I'm wearing pink because the women of this country showed us the way the day after inauguration. My mama, my sister, my nieces, and all of you women. Go. Go, girl. Okay. I also would like to make a public announcement that I am not a paid demonstrator. As a matter of fact, I have 3 wonderful friends staying with me. They came with me too. And I did not have to pay them or even buy them a coffee. But I would like to say I'm also a Christian. I think Marco Rubio claims to be a Christian. I'm also Hispanic. He claims to be Hispanic. I'm also American. He claims to be American. So we really have a place to communicate. I am not scolding him. I'm not admonishing him. But I'm saying to him in those quiet moments, when you're thinking about our country, my advice to you is ask yourself, in this predicament that we're in today, what would Jesus do? In this predicament that we are in today, what would Jesus say to our unfortunate immigrants, to those who've had their tombstones of their parents or relatives thrown over in the cemetery, to those who have had their mosques defiled, to those who are called rapists and criminals, to those who have no health care, though we are the richest nation in the world. All the other industrialized countries have health coverage for their citizens, and we claim we can't afford it. For those of poor health, what would Jesus do? So please, as a Christian, ask yourself, I'm a senator. What can I do to follow Jesus' footsteps, to raise my country and not Trump?
I'm going to call up the next 8. Suzanne House, number 20. Marjorie Friedman, number 21. James Warwick, number 22. Jeannie Marks. Oh, excuse my pronunciation. Number 23. Donna LaFell, number 24. Trent Warnock, number 25. And Val Dickinson, number 26, and Mike, I'm not even going to try, number 27. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Suzanne House. I represent Florida Voices for Animals, and I'm a citizen of the United States. I'm here to speak up for animals and the environment. Did you know the way animals are raised for food in factory farms destroys the environment more than all the cars, trucks, planes, trains, on the road and in the air in the world? Also, these animals are the most abused. 2 weeks ago, the Trump administration scrubbed public animal welfare records from the USDA website. This is bad news for the animals and government transparency. This move makes it impossible to find out where animals are located, their treatment, and any violations. Essentially carte blanche to anyone to hide animal violations and violate the animal welfare laws. The public deserves to have easy access to this information because taxpayer money funds the enforcement of the Animal Welfare Act.
Hi, Margie Friedman. I have the fortunate or unfortunate, depends on your outlook, background of having been born in Canada. So Senator Rubio In Canada, a developed country, we provide health care for all of our citizens. Yes, they pay high taxes for it, but it's worth it, and they are happy to pay them. But now I've lived in the States longer than I ever lived in Canada, and I'm an American citizen, naturalized. Go USA. And I'm very proud of my country, except for a few things. I am one of 22 million million ACA insured constituents of yours in Florida. Under the current proposed changes by the GOP, the funding to Florida is going to be decreased majorly. That is going to be a big problem. Yeah, bigly, I'm sorry. I couldn't read my own writing, okay? Anyway, we will lose consumer protections because of the things they're proposing. We're not going to have the pre-existing condition clause the way it is now. They're going to start charging probably women more than men like they did before. And they're going to limit your lifetime coverage, all because you won't give America, citizens and all, health care. Will you commit? I want you to commit tonight, wherever you are, to preserving ACA and alter those changes they're trying to make to it. That's all I ask.
Senator Rubio, my name is Kate, and I'm a constituent from Temple Terrace, Florida. I'm here today to talk about how the ACA has changed my life and come to my rescue. I have a chronic illness that results in intermittent relapses and temporary disability. To manage this condition, I take a daily medication that costs over $45,000 a year without health insurance. In 2015, I became a full-time student again here in Florida and transitioned to being a part-time intern. Through this job, I didn't have an option to purchase insurance through my employer and couldn't afford to pay by myself for an individual plan. Through the Affordable Care Act, or the ACA, I was able to receive financial assistance for monthly plan premiums and was able to afford all of my co-pays, my doctor's appointments, and most importantly, that expensive prescription. That assistance kept me healthy, out of the hospital, and most importantly, prevented me from having to worry about accruing thousands and thousands of dollars in unnecessary medical bills. And when I was able to get my employer-sponsored plan this year when I switched jobs, the ACA was still there for me. It prevented me from being denied health insurance or charged a higher premium because of my pre-existing condition. So I'm here today to ask you, Senator Rubio, why you would vote against a program that has benefited and will benefit so many millions of your constituents like me who would otherwise be unable to afford the critical medications and care that we need to stay healthy. Why would you gamble with thousands and thousands of people's health care? Perhaps if you had been here to listen to our stories, you would understand. I hope you're listening now. Thank you.
Senator Rubio, my name is Donna Davis, Florida born and raised, and a citizen of Tampa, Florida. I wrote you a letter. Dear Marco, I was really excited when I heard that you'd be hosting a town hall. I mean, we've been looking for you everywhere. We've looked in the oddest places, like your office in your district. And even stranger than that, the Cannon building in D.C. Now, I'm sure you can imagine my disappointment when I found out you wouldn't be coming, but it was nothing compared to the abject grief of you abandoning us for Tories, Gauls, and Deutschlanders. We hear that you're traveling to Europe. Shame, but not one to miss an opportunity, and I'm sure you know a thing or two about opportunity, seizing opportunity. I thought I'd take this opportunity to ask for a few things I've been dreaming about. Maybe you could pick up a few things for us while you're over there. Number one, we're losing our pants and our health care. And I was thinking maybe you could bring us a few sturdy sets of lederhosen. You know, your buddy 45's been tearing at our pants, and we're gonna need something to hold them up if this keeps up. Number two, remember muskets? Yeah, we beat them anyway. But if you visit merry old England and you find any muskets laying around, be a chap and send us a few, won't you? We rarely reference history anymore, and we have little need of science these days. And it would be helpful to have a few relics lying around if folks start burning libraries, you know. Number three, we'd like to have some beer. Germans are known for it. The Gasparilla Music Festival is coming up, and good German beer would make a great accompaniment with our new lederhosen. Number four, freedom fries. Remember those? Listen, France has problems of its own. One order of fries shouldn't be a big deal. That's all we need from France. And lastly, if you do decide that the people who elected you actually matter, it'd be a good idea to bring yourself. Because you signed up for a job, and now is as good a time as any to come on down and actually do it. Now listen, we don't have to get too personal. We could start with an email response, maybe, and go from there. But if you decide to stay across the pond, Senator, we'll understand. Who knows? It might be for the best anyway. At least we won't have to wait 6 years to replace you.
Hi, my name is Trent Warnock. I moved to Carrollwood when I was 7 years old, lived in Pinellas the last 20 so years. And I'm sorry, I really feel like Clint Eastwood, but that would make you Obama. How strange is that? I'm really quite frankly afraid, like many people here, because even with the ACA, I am so poor, I don't have health care. I feel healthy at the moment, have no idea if I actually am. I lost my wife last year to cancer. She fought it for years. And part of the reason I'm poor is even with Medicare, there were expenses. And I would really like to keep living. And I'm sick of you and the rest of the GOP getting in the way of that. So do something about health care in the right direction. Thank you.
Let me make an announcement real quick. Don't forget that we have the confessional room on the side. Anyone that wants to do a video or pictures, right over here to the side.